I worked two funeral convention shows over the last couple of weeks. One show was for the traditional mainstream market. The second show was more regimented. It was a collection of African American funeral directors uh, who are proud and they're proud of their organization. So I heard things from multiple ethnicities over the last 2 weeks, multiple funeral practitioners of the craft of this sacred thing, as I was taught. And I see so many looking for the magic pill to deal with the changes that are coming in the marketplace. Sometimes I saw business owners who are about to exit the industry because they're older, but they still want that pride. Maybe they're second generation or third generation themselves, and they got grandson or granddaughter or son or daughter with them, with bustling with pride because they know that they want to pass the torch to that person that takes the family business into this next era. So I sometimes they would show, this is my grandson. He's sharp. He's going to do that, speaking with pride. But the business is changing. Who knew that cremation would force a pivot in many corners? Who knew that the various nuances in businesses in a post-COVID world would come? Also, flat out culture has changed. I had conversations with people that just didn't understand the cultural makeup, the things that we esteemed as constants. Some in this new generation don't even have those same type of emotions or same type of commitment to what the things that which we held as normal. Also I saw a collection of young directors, probably not owners, maybe bit players at their own funeral home. But I saw them collaborating amongst themselves. Now, you Bible readers that are funeral directors, they're not becoming Absalons. They're just comparing thoughts. They were trying to hone themselves on how to become better in the marketplace. And while everyone may not hear their thoughts were equally shared. So I'm not promoting a rebellion. I'm going to say this. Everything that the older funeral director says isn't wrong, and neither is everything that the younger funeral practitioner wowed either. So look, we're in a new space and a new time and a new day. We can't just say I often said, I've said it for years, that the businessman or businesswoman that uses all of yesterday's methods won't be in business tomorrow. I was just reading yesterday that Apple has been toppled by Samsung. So whatever you do and however great you are in your craft, don't sit up on the perch and not try to innovate, not try to change, and not try to respond to the pivots that are, or the pivot that the industry has dealt us. Time has dealt us. We're in a different world, a different space, different culture, different norms, different season. So look, I believe that the funeral craft is a sacred thing. You may not like the youngsters sometimes taking funeral directing to social media, but as far as advertising, that's a crazy piece now. I see some home funeral homes that stream on Facebook, and their simple funeral reaches 600,000 to 700,000 views. That's incredible. That's incredible exposure. So look, I'm not knocking I'm not knocking you older people. I'm not trying to push you out of the perch. I'm not trying to put you out of the captain's chair because you worked hard for it, you grinded for it, you did it. But maybe listen to some of the younger people sometimes. they might have a nuance of a thing that you don't see. Each one of us has blind spots, no matter how great we are. So it takes young and old to negate the blind spots that could hurt the family business. Talk to person after person. They're rethinking these things about these large fleets. You know, do I need 17 different family cars anymore when they're not even picking them because they're cremating? So there are many things in this industry that are changing because society is changing. We're in a post-COVID world. We're in a postmodern world. A whole lot of these folks aren't even associated with a church. So that's something that's a nuance that the older funeral directors didn't deal with. But don't ever stop learning. That goes for the old and the young. There's greatness ahead of you, but you got to stay a student of the game. So I'm just telling you, and I'm an outsider. Well, I'm not an outsider. I've been in the funeral industry since 2008. That's a long time. And now I'm in the space of being a vendor, and even people that are serving the funeral industry, there are no constants. Change is a mist. You better learn how to pivot and deal with the change that is coming in the funeral industry. People are going to keep dying. They've been dying since a long time ago. For those of you all who are Bible readers, they died. Adam lived 900 plus years. Methuselah lived 969, and they've been. God's cut man's days down consistently until now. You know, I think James said, "What is man's life? It's a vapor." So look, you're here today, and we're living in a world and time and space where you can be gone today too. So while we're serving in this sacred space, in this sacred craft, let's respond to the many changes ahead. We need old and new to make our thing even better. Be blessed.